thought would never come. Welcome back, gang. I just thought I'd update you. You may remember the video engine meltdown where my ProMax block leaned out on 2 cylinders. Unbeknownst to me, the reason that leaned out was because that motor I run 5250 fat rods, and the rods to run in that block have to be ground out to allow for clearance. I'll show you what's happened. So where those rods are extremely big, these orifices have been exposed to allow clearance for those rods. This is where my electrical panel sits, and that day it leaned out. Unbeknownst to me, the DevCon in these 2 passages here had cracked and fallen away, which in turn leaned out because of the exposed holes there. Before we hone this block and machine it all up, we've actually, instead of refilling it with Sikaflex or DevCon again, we've made these little block off patches which we will weld in to these orifices here. They will all be welded, completely sealed. We don't have to worry about that issue happening again. Got this block back from having those little exposed orifices sealed up with those little aluminium caps that we made. It's all welded up now, so we no longer have to rely on liquid metal or DevCon in them areas. So now the hot part of the block is complete. We'll be able to hone those cylinders out and order some new pistons. I have two spare motors in the build at the moment. I'll give you a look at them. 2 totally different port jobs. One's been built up, hand finger ported, and the other one's been completely like gutted out, milled out, ported also. So I'll give you a look at them. So this is a standard block that I picked up, and we've had the centers built up, and that's all been port matched to flow. Theory has it that this motor will have a lot of down low and mid range, and then this is the ProMax block that we melted pistons 3 and 5 on, and as you can see, that's been really milled out and ported also. That's the bottom cracks we've had fixed where someone's obviously over tightened that block at some point and the bolt has bottomed out and made a crack through here, so we've just gone and welded them up, and we'll be able to get those surfaces remachined flat. So come summertime, we're gonna have those 2 motors spare. We've still got this one here that's had a mild tickle to it as well. My best to be better prepared and be on the water non-stop this summer. What's going on, guys? So I'm back with another engine build update. Been to competition coatings up in Acacia Ridge. They have been around since Jesus was a baby.
Dear tiny Jesus, your golden fleece diapers with your tiny little fat balled up fist pawing.
He was a man. He had a beard.
Look, I like the baby version the best. Do you hear me?
They do some really top quality work there at their workshop, and seeing if I can just eliminate a couple of these little 1%ers that seem to go wrong with me and my boat engine failures. In relation to building this F1 replica block, you could say, it's going to have pretty high compression, probably going to run it closer on the race fuel side of things because it's going to be pretty spicy. I've gone and had my pistons ceramic coated and Teflon coated, so I'll just give you a look at these. So this is them here. The tops have been ceramic coated and the sides have all been Teflon coated. What has happened to what I've seen people in the past is when your piston heats up and expands, that sometimes allows for that little ring pin there to fall out, end up getting mashed in the top of the cylinder there. So in having that top ceramic coated, hopefully that's going to eliminate the extreme temperatures in which these motors see when they're revving at like 8,000 RPM. Obviously when those motors reach that temperature, they can tend to pit and disintegrate just with the extreme heat there. I don't know if I still have one on the shelf here from my first motor that I blew up. Here's one I prepared earlier which blew up. So that is a extreme case scenario lean out. As you can see there, that one has seen better days. Hopefully having the top of that piston ceramic coated, it's going to be able to withstand those extreme temperatures if you have a tuning error and prevent lean out, or if you are leaning out, that the tops of the cylinders don't disintegrate and come away there. Not only that, but the guys at Competition Coatings, they advised me that they have actually seen race road bikes before get their pistons that hot that the piston actually melts away underneath the ceramic coating itself. So they've told me that the piston has failed, but the coating itself has still remained intact. So if anyone can test out that scenario, I'm definitely the guy to do that, because I can't wait to sit with this thing pinned on 8,000 RPM, just trying to kill it. So I'm not sure if anybody else has tried this out. I come across this when I was looking at YouTube videos with regards to ceramic coating. A guy actually had two pistons in front of him, one ceramic coated, one uncoated, and he held a blowtorch to the top of each piston, and obviously one of the pistons melted away, and the other one that was ceramic coated, he just simply wiped the black soot off the top of the piston and no damage whatsoever. So I was thinking slightly outside the box and thought it cost me $68 a piston to get the tops and the skirts done. So in hindsight, if it saves a motor and I'm able to push it to its limits for longer and further, it's paid for itself. So let me know if you guys have ever run these before in the comments below, the pros and cons of it. It's all new to me, but I'm interested to see how it works when we build this motor and get it together. Obviously I've just got to order a gasket kit now and some steel cage bearings, and we'll be ready to slap this girl back together again and have a spare motor in the shed ready to test. We've managed to pick up an alien cow, and just in the process of restoring that, because it'd be a pretty nice cow to put on the motor on my boat. It'll really bring out those round lines that I keep talking about that I like on my boat so much. It's got a couple of spots that needs repairing, so it's just got a chunk out of the corner here, got a crack down here, so we'll clamp that. We'll put some fiberglass on the inside of it. Same with this corner at the front here. It's had a knock. These are pretty nice cowlings. It should look really nice. I've given it its first sand before I do those repairs. Give it a wipe down with some wax and grease remover. It's a hot day out here, so here we are, guys. The day I thought would never come. I had to drive nearly to Bundaberg to pick my boat up. Worst time of year to go on the highway. I've got it home and it's got new floor and stringers in it. I'd like to give a huge shout out and thanks to Neil for all the work. Max, if you're watching, Neil said he's retiring after my boat, so no more boats, but very appreciative for all his work. He literally done it for me for a Christmas present, and I couldn't be happier. So the motor's mounted. Just put our carbon fibre panels on the sides. Down to the battery, bilge pump. Now I'll put down this hydro turf. Probably just do 2 strips along each side here, one up the middle there. Might even, with the leftovers, put a little bit up the front there as well or something. Just got on the all black hydro turf. Day 2 of rigging this boat up. It's been a mission. It's sweltering hot here in the middle of summer, and everybody's out on the water enjoying their boats and their holidays. But slowly chipping away at it. Quick call to my mate Angelo at Seacall Marine. He helped me out with a few issues. I bought the 8-inch steering column, and it has a different helm. Apparently inboards run a different helm, and that's what this steering column came out of. So I've just had to run my wires a different way. I thought they needed to be on the bottom, hang at the bottom of the helm, but inboards run at the top of the helm, vice versa. Give you a quick look. So the fuel tank's all in, my pumps, battery. I've got new cable, put the hydro turf down. I've had my side panels re-wrapped in some new carbon fibre. I've had to replace my accelerator pedal because the old one that was in it, I don't know how it was working like that for so long. Not just that spot, but this spot as well. I've got my frame, I've given it a quick paint a coat. That board there goes on top, and then the seats screw to the top of that frame, and then that frame will bolt in there. Ideally I wanted to run center steer with the driver at the front and the passenger directly behind, but I just want to get out on the water, so I'll just screw it all back in and configure it the way it was so we can get back out there, go and enjoy the holidays on the water in this warmer weather. But I'll keep you updated. Once again, I've just got to put the cowling on and rewire everything up. I've got that older cowling down there still, that'll all bolt straight on, but ideally I've had this EFI one all resprayed in 2-pack. Eventually I'll put that alien cowl on one of these other power heads that I'm putting together, but for now I'll just get it back together as quick as I can and try to get out on the water. Obviously I'd like to change that standard style gearbox with the nose cone on it, because I've got my Sporty here. She's all rebuilt, ready to slap on. It's just time. Running out of time every day. It's just the days flying by on the holidays. I hate it. Just doing some of the final setting up on the boat, going over the prop shaft height. If you haven't seen me do this before in previous video, I'll quickly show you again. So I just jacked the boat up because I've got uneven ground, and make sure you're true and level. And the cav plate here is level, and then we've got the laser set up on the pad, which then transfers to our gearbox. And then try not to film upside down. So as you can see, just get the tip of that ruler, 35mm below pad. We haven't had much of a break in the weather here lately, and but hopefully we get a clean day on the weekend, and I'll go over the boat and show you what I've done to get it water ready and what is still yet to do, what I'd like to do. I just got a special delivery. I love stickers. No matter how old you get, everyone always gets excited about stickers. Well, I know I do. I needed a sleeve 40 thou oversize OD wise, because that block has had a sleeve replaced in it before, so it's obviously been bought out in the past. Mike Hill from Buckshot Racing in America has got this to me under 7 days, I think. I'm really appreciative of that. I'll be able to keep you up to date with that Promax block, and we'll get this sleeve put in and we'll get it all bored and honed, or we can hopefully get that motor back together again, because it pulled so much more revs compared to this standard power head that I'm running on my motor currently. I'm just really missing those anywhere up to 2000 RPM. That makes a heap of difference, especially when it comes to trying to get those higher numbers, as we keep talking about. I just wanted to show you guys, I think my hull's a little bit lighter since having the floor and stringers done, but if you knock on my boat everywhere, it's so solid you'd swear it was made out of rock. Obviously the transom's solid as. I was hoping maybe one of yous in the comments below could tell me the pros and cons of noticed on my boat having a stepped transom. Yeah, I'd be interested to know what you guys think of having a stepped transom, and what that does in regards to performance when it comes to boating. I'll just give you a look at mine. So obviously it steps in here and here. Yeah, just let me know what's good about having a step transom. I've heard people talk about modifying the pad on their boat as well, whether it be with regards to the edges or pad width. Hit me up in the comments below and let me know stuff that yous have learnt coming in regards to working on the pad and having a step transom. I'd be interested to know your thoughts. What's going on, guys? So here we are at the boat ramp. It's a cheeky sneaky Tuesday afternoon after work. Today will just be a bit of just feeling the boat out again since getting it back. It's been nearly 6 months since I've had the boat, and just getting a bit of seat time and feeling the boat out again. So as you can see, as I've mentioned before, I was just putting the configuration for the seating back in as it was. It has this frame here. I would really like to move the steering wheel over to be perfectly center here, which is about 70 mil, and put the seat in the center and have the passenger seat behind, and just have a windbreak there to reduce weight as well. As I said, my accelerator cable was a bit dodgy. I've put the new one in, but I've realized that the steering wheel can't get full lock if I turn the opposite way. So I do have a longer one there. Timbo from the Gold Coast Ski Boat Club has one. He gave me to get me out of trouble, which is good. I just haven't put it in yet, but I'm just gonna feel it out and just make sure everything's running right. You can see the carbon fiber trims. I've put the hydro turf in on the floor here. Just tidy it up a bit. I wouldn't mind getting like an Allison Performance Boatz foot pad to stick to the back there underneath the foot pedal. I thought he was bringing the bullet. Hey? I thought he was going to bring the bullet. Oh. This is a bullet, it's just not his. Yeah. made it back under our own steam. Everything went well. It felt smooth, and the hull definitely feels a lot lighter than what it used to be since having it gutted and redone. You can feel the water slapping under the hull. So yeah, before it sounded very rock solid, whereas this feels solid now, but you can definitely tell there's some weight been taken out of it. So it'd be interesting to see once I reweigh it to see how much we've actually lightened the hull. But other than that, the motor went pretty well. Obviously I replaced that trim pump too, so the trim's working pretty good too. And with that motor height, also torque and numbers, I was only pulling 6,000 RPM. With my other motor I was pulling like 7.5, 7.8 easy. So obviously that mile per hour is going to be down. They're not really numbers I need to talk about now. Just getting a feel for the boat once again, and that seat time, and getting my confidence back before I go seeing what improvements I can make from earlier on. Another little update. Always trying to keep things safe as possible, so I'm just rigging up some safety catches to put around my pulleys. Just gone and bought myself some 3.2mm wire, and yeah, we'll bang these out and fit these to the boat. Just an extra step of security, I guess, and I'll show you when they're fitted up. Alright, so now hopefully we'll have a little bit of extra security and peace of mind when it comes to maybe if a pulley was to let go. Ultimately I'd love to have the best that you can get hydraulic steer, like a Lab Sport setup, but I just don't have a spare 10 to 15 grand lying around, so I'll have to just keep saving and working with these cables. But as you can see, we've rigged up 2 loops and just de-shackled them to the wings on each side, and hopefully that'll give us a little bit more peace of mind, security, if the worst was to ever happen.